Mr. Director, I'm over here.
You're on my right. I know that, Senator Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
So,
It's the correct place to be.
that's right.
This is America. We all are entitled to our opinion, but I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
I know you to be a fiscal conservative. I think you share my, I don't know, concern, disbelief, curiosity. I don't understand why taking care of our generation requires robbing the next generation. I want to thank you in your budget for emphasizing our need to do something about improper payments. As you know better than I do, we've got $144 billion of improper payments being made every year. And we're not going to stop all of them, but if we can stop 20%, that's $30 billion. I've introduced a bill with Senator Carper to try, it's called the Stop Paying Dead People Act. And I mean, I was just amazed. You can't make this stuff up. We've got a death file at Social Security, but Social Security won't share it with its sister agencies. So dead people are getting checks, and they're being cashed. Obviously, there's fraud. In some states, you can vote when you're dead, but cashing a government check is just a bridge too far as I'm concerned. So I hope you'll continue that. In the few minutes I have left, I want to get a little maybe metaphysical here. We talk about the need for a balanced budget, but sometimes, and I support a balanced budget, but sometimes I think we conflate balanced budget with government spending, and here's what I mean. We've got a $20 trillion economy. That's all the goods and services we produce every year. If government is spending $4 trillion, I know the president's budget comes in a little higher, but if government is spending $4 trillion, government's taking $4 trillion out of that, let's say, $20 trillion. You with me so far? Okay. Do you think America would be better off if we had a balanced budget of $4 trillion government spending and $4 trillion of taxes? Or would we be better off in terms of personal liberty if we had $2 trillion worth of spending and $1 trillion of taxes, and therefore would have to borrow $1 trillion?
Well, from an individual liberty side, if you assume for sake of this discussion that the larger the government is, the less individual freedom you have, then by definition, you'd be better off from an individual liberty standpoint by having that $2 trillion government expenditure versus with only $1 trillion worth of taken out of the economy. Plus, I think I could make the argument to you, take individual liberties out of the equation and look at the allocation of capital. If I give $4 trillion to the government, it is likely to misapply a lot of that, spend it inefficiently, whereas if I let people keep more of their own money, they are, by definition, going to apply it very efficiently. In fact, that is efficient. That's the market. People spending their own money is the market, and nothing allocates capital more efficiently than the free market. So I think in many ways you'd be better off by having that smaller footprint.
Well, I'm going to be clear. I support a balanced budget, and I know you do too. But would one way to skin this cat be to approach legislation that would limit government spending to a certain percentage of GDP?
Certainly in theory, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you think the president would support something like that?
I don't know. I've not talked to the president. I know that that came up a couple times in the House, Senate. I know you and I have not talked about this before, so we're just sort of thinking off the top of our heads, but I think that actually came up in the past as part of a debate regarding a balanced budget amendment. Would we cap government expenditures as a percentage of the overall economy? The theory being that it was okay to grow the grow the government as long as you were growing the economy at the same time. Go back to my comments before about your revenues growing faster than your expenses. It's wrong to grow government faster than the economies of the people that can pay for it.
I'm out of time. Thank you, Mr. Director, for your service.
Thank you, Senator. I always
I'm a
enjoy
big
it.
admirer.